of that out the way, let's get going on our actual lesson. So anyone who was here on Tuesday might have remembered that I put this question up and I said, go give this a try, because this is more of like an extension type question. It's going to make you think. So let's have a look at it. I thought for those of you who did actually try it, I'd go through it so that you can see how you actually did. Write down the equation of the circle with diameter AB. Write your answer in this form. And today we're actually going to talk a bit more about this form of the equation. But to answer this question, we need the center of the circle, if you remember from our previous lesson, and the radius. So let's first calculate the center. Now the center will actually be the midpoint of this diameter, because we can find so the midpoint of this diameter will be the center of the circle. So we can calculate that first, and I'm going to call that point C, just because it's C for center. How do we get that midpoint? We can add the two x values together and divide them by 2. So we're basically calculating the average of the x values. So 5 minus 1 over 2. And my y values, I do the same with 8 plus 0 divided by 2. And that gives me 4 over 2 is 2, and 8 over 2 is 4. So that's my center. And you'll also remember maybe from that lesson, or if you've been doing this in school, we can write the equation of the circle as x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals the radius squared, which we discussed on Tuesday is basically the distance formula. What we've got here resembles the distance formula. So we have the center now that we use the midpoint, so we can pop that in to our equation, and then all that we are still missing for our equation of the circle is the radius squared. And to calculate that, if you remember from Tuesday, we just used another point and substituted that in. So I'm going to use point A and substitute point A 5 and 8. And that gives me 5 minus 2 squared plus 8 minus 4 squared is equal to r squared. So 5 minus 2 is 3 squared. 8 minus 4 is 4 squared. And that's going to give me r squared. And that's going to be 9 plus 16 is 25. Okay, and we just round it all off and write it out all together nicely. X minus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to 25. But now this question asks us to write it in this format: ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e. And the only way we are going to be able to get to that format is if we multiply this out. Okay, so I'm just going to move over here to make more space. So to get it from this center point form, and we're going to talk a lot more about that today, we're going to do that. To get it from this center radius form into that form that the question is asking us for, we need to multiply this out. Okay, so I'm just going to change color and we're going to do it over here. Okay, so we're going to start by squaring this x minus 2. X minus 2 times x minus 2, y minus 4, y minus 4. And I think I'm going to leave you here for the next few minutes, and I want you to try and calculate this, work this out. square the two brackets, square all of that out, simplify it. Remember, we are working towards this format here. Ax squared plus by plus cx plus dy plus e. Okay, so I'm going to leave you for a few minutes while you get busy calculating that. Kolofelo, to answer your question, I assume you mean that you take the distance between A, B in this question and then divide it by 2. Unfortunately, though, that won't give you, that's for the radius, but we need the center of the circle, the midpoint of that radius. So if you have calculated the radius, the midpoint that way, that's fine. And then if you took the full distance and then divided by 2, that is fine. Yeah. As long as you have coordinates for the center. Thanks, Aisha. That happens quite often where I'm explaining away and then no one heard anything I said. Anyway, so we square this out and now we're going to add everything together. So x squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 8y. So I put the numbers together. That's 20. 4 plus 16 is 20. And I subtract the 25 from the other side. So 20 minus 25 is minus 5. Okay, so well done to those of you who got that. Well done. Great stuff. Okay. So that was actually a good introduction to what we are covering today. So we've been doing this form of the equation of a circle where we have the coordinates of the center and the radius. Okay, and we've just seen that if we multiply that out, we get the equation of the circle in a different form. Okay, Lati, please go back to the equation. Okay, let me go back to that at the end. I just have to continue with the lesson, and I need to put this up over here. So just remind me to go back at the end. Okay, so I want you to do that again now. Simplify the above equation. So we're going to take the x plus 7 squared plus y minus 1 squared equal to 49. And we're just going to practice that again to multiply this out. So x plus 7, remember when we are squaring a bracket, we times it by itself. And if you're scared you're going to forget that, rather write the bracket twice. Okay, so I'm going to leave you again for about 2 minutes to multiply this out and to get it into the standard form. Right, some answers are coming in. So let's get that going. So we're going to have x squared plus 14x plus 49 plus y squared minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 49. Now we put the x's together and we put the y's together and the numbers together. X squared plus 14x plus y squared minus 2y. 49 plus 1 is 50. Subtract the 49. 49 plus 1 is 50 minus 49 is going to be plus 1. Okay, right, give yourself, can I see in the chat, please put a thumbs up if you got that right. I see a lot of people posted their answers, or a few people did, and then just drop a thumbs up in the chat if you managed to get that right. Ms. Kaka, can you maybe see if you can assist Lakamva? Thank you. Awesome. Right. So now we've been practicing taking it out of that center radius form and putting it into this standard form. Now we have to do it the other way around as well. And that is the part that is slightly trickier. Okay, so let's have a look how that's done. And maybe you've done this in school. To get it from this form where all the brackets are multiplied out and you have x squared and y squared, we need to get it into the form where we have two brackets with the center and the radius. So what we are working towards here is x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equals r squared. Okay, and to do that, we are going to complete the square for both the x and the y. So let's start first by grouping all the x terms, all the terms with an x, the x squared and the 14x, and the y squared minus the 2y. Let's group all of that together. So I put the x's together. And I put the y's together. And we leave the -1 on the other side. So now we're going to complete the square for all the x terms and for the y terms. Okay. So if you're not that familiar with complete the square, you can listen carefully now and follow along carefully and make good notes, because this is something you have to be able to do for the grade 12 exam. So we're going to say x squared plus 14x, and we're going to add half the coefficient of the x, which is 7, and we're going to square it. Then we're going to do the same for the y's. So plus y squared minus 2y. And we're going to add half the coefficient of the y, which is minus 2, divided by 2, which gives me -1. But because this is an equation, what I do on one side, I have to do on the other side as well. So if I've added it, if I added 7 squared, I must add it on the right-hand side as well. And then add the -1 squared as well. So what I do on one side, I must do on the other side as well. Right, so I've completed my square, basically. That is my square for my x's, and this is my square for my y's. So now we can make our brackets. X plus 7 squared. And we calculate what the numbers are. So we get -1 plus 49 plus 1. -1 plus 49 plus 1. And that gives me 49. Okay, so now we've put the circle into the form where we can see what the center is and what the radius is. So let's write that down. The center will be -7 and 1. And the radius will not be 49. The radius squared is 49. So the radius will be 7. Okay. Please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way, if you are happy with what we just did and you followed along and it made sense. Sebo says yes. Liam says yes. Valerie, Lottie. Wonderful. You guys are rocking this. Well done. Well done. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so be comfortable with that whole thing of taking it out of this quadratic form where everything's been multiplied out back into the center form where it where you complete the square and know when to do what. So to get it into this quadratic form, you multiply the brackets out. To get it back into center radius form, you create brackets by completing the square. Right, now it's your turn to practice. Let's write the equation. Again, it's in this form. So we want it in its standard form, or standard form is what I've also been calling the center radius form. Okay, so I'm going to leave you for about 3 minutes and practice this on your own. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that I can scroll up and you can see what we did when we completed the square. So first step, just to remind you, put all your x's together, put all your numbers together, put the numbers on the other side actually, if they're not there. I see we've got some people who have just joined. Welcome. We are busy writing the equation of the circle in center radius form by completing the square. And I can just almost hear everyone thinking this evening. Oh, Kia is first with her answer. Kolofelo as well. Answers are streaming in. Well done, everybody. It seems that you guys are rocking completing the square, which is normally something people hate. But it seems like this class doesn't. Okay, well done, everybody. Okay, good. We are getting some different answers, so let's have a look. So we're going to complete the square for the x's and for the y's. For my x's, I'm going to go x squared minus 4x, and I'm going to take half the coefficient of the x, so minus 4 divided by 2, and I'm going to add it and square it. If you're scared you're going to forget, you might as well add it already on the other side. Leave some space and then add it to the 23 on the other side. Okay, now we're going to do the same for the y's. Y squared plus 6y. We're going to take half the coefficient of the 6 of the y, which is 6, divided by 2 is 3. And because this is an equation, I can't just add stuff. I must keep everything equal. So I added on the left-hand side, and then I also added on the right-hand side. Okay, so this is going to give me x minus 2 squared for my bracket, y plus 3 squared, and I've got 23 plus 4 is 27, plus 9 is going to give me 36. Okay. And it looks like most of you got this. Just remember, when we are writing down the coordinates of the center, it's not -2 but 2, and then not +3 but -3. So it's always the opposite sign when you actually write down the coordinates. So I always say inside the bracket, if you take it outside the bracket, it changes sign. If you put it back into the bracket, it changes sign. Okay. And our radius is 6. Well done, everyone. Just give me a thumbs up if you're comfortable and happy with this, because we are going to practice a little bit more. For those of you who are still feeling a little bit like you need more practice, practice in maths is key. So let's keep going. Okay, Relebochile. Oh, you took your hand down. Okay. Right, one more. X squared plus y squared minus plus 4x minus 6y plus 3. We have to find the coordinates of the center and the radius of the circle. So this is question 2 for us. Okay, so again, this will be about 3 marks in a test or exam. So let's spend 3 minutes on it. So we'll check back in here again at about 17:34. How's your completing the square going, Ms. Coco?
Oh, I'm so good at it these days. I can do it in my head. So, you know, I've leveled up. I've leveled up. Yeah, I'm loving the section though. It's really good.
Are you starting to feel more positive about analytical geometry?
Yeah, just now. I'm getting friendly with circles now. So yeah.
I mean, we complete the square twice. Come on. That's quite cool.
It is. It's pretty cool. At the same time, that's yes. Even cooler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got some answers. Awesome. Right, let's see. And everyone's bringing it in right in time. Well done. I'm really impressed. Okay, so we're going to group x's and y's together. But we also need to take our plus 3 over to the other side and make it minus 3. Wait, I can't do brackets yet. Let's just do my little bit of work here. So x squared plus 4x. Half the coefficient of the x is 2, and we're going to square it and add it on both sides. Okay, and then y squared minus 6y will be minus 3 squared. That we add, half the coefficient of the y is minus 3. And because I added on one side, I need to add it onto the other side as well. Okay. That is going to leave me with x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared. And I have minus 3 plus 4 plus 9. Minus 3 plus 4 plus 9 is 10. Okay, so be careful when you write down your center and your radius. Your center is minus 2 and 3. And radius is not 10, it is square root of 10. Okay, well done, everyone. I see there are quite a few people who got this right. And just to make sure, yes, we've got one more to do. Okay, so determine the equation of the circle in this form that has its center at P and passes through through this point here, R, 5, and 7. Okay, so just going back the other way again. So our last one for this evening to practice, and I'm going to leave you again for about 3 minutes to get this one done. Let's see who can get 3 in a row right. Yes, Belinda, just read the question carefully. We have to put it into ax squared plus bx. So we have to put it into that quadratic form. Okay, so read carefully. So does that mean Nompumelelo is actually first now? Hey, have you ladies, are you settling the score here?
I think they are.
Or maybe Aisha's first. Let's see who's right. It's neck and neck here. Oh, finally, here's a boy. We have someone on the board from the male from the male learners. The girls were very quick this afternoon. Right. Okay. How did I do, Miss Coco? Do you think I got this right?
No, yeah, it's correct. That's what we got. Yeah.
It's not right until everyone agrees it is. Okay, wonderful. I see quite a few people. Good stuff. Liam, on the money. And Sebo. Sebo, just check. Unless that's a typo. Or Atile. Well done. Great work, everyone. I'm very proud of you for handling this, completing the square and all this multiplying out so well. That's really well done. And I think you are well on your way to doing well in this section, I think. Okay, so that is it from us because it is time for quiz. So I hope you all are going to do well in your quiz. And without further ado, Miss Coco, please post the quiz link. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Exactly what I'm doing right now. All right, guys. The link to tonight's quiz is in the chat. Please remember, guys, it's a no stress quiz. Take your time. You can do it again and again and again if you need to. Just make sure that you're understanding the maths behind it because that's why we're here, to understand. So yeah, guys, have fun with that. We are looking forward to giving some shout outs next week, Tuesday, see how you guys did on the quiz. If you'd like, you guys can also come in that 3 or 2 minutes earlier and let us know how you guys did on the quiz as well. We'd like to cheer you guys on. Yeah, you guys come in a little early and have a bit of a conversation with our two nerdy selves, but we do enjoy having you guys here. Our veteran Watobians, thank you again for coming. Our brand new Watobians, welcome. And we are hoping to see you again next week. Please don't run away, come back. We're fun, we promise. Okay.